When disaster strikes, one of the most important decisions you'll make is where to set up your shelter. Your shelter's location can be the difference between thriving and struggling during a crisis. Whether you're facing a natural disaster, societal collapse, or an SHTF scenario, a carefully chosen shelter location can provide safety, access to resources, and protection from the elements. In this guide, we'll cover essential factors to consider when selecting a survival shelter location. From water access to security and weather protection, we'll explore everything you need to know to make an informed decision. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. At Doomsday Prepper, we provide you with expert tips, survival strategies, and practical advice to help you prepare for anything. Let's get started. Why shelter location matters. When you think about survival, the first thing that likely comes to mind is food, water, and shelter. While food and water are vital for keeping you alive, your shelter plays a critical role in ensuring your long-term survival. The right location for your shelter not only offers protection from the elements, but also secures vital resources like water and firewood, and helps you stay safe from threats. In an ideal world, you'll be able to choose a shelter location that offers everything you need: security, resources, and comfort. But in reality, you'll need to weigh these factors and make strategic decisions about your environment. Remember, a bad location can leave you exposed to danger, while a well-chosen spot can significantly improve your odds of survival. Access to water, a lifeline. Water is, without a doubt, one of your most important survival resources. Without it, you can only survive for about 3 days. Having access to clean, reliable water is essential for hydration, food preparation, sanitation, and more. Here's what to consider when choosing a shelter location near water. 1. Choose flowing water. Streams, rivers, or springs are ideal because they provide a continuous supply of fresh water. Stagnant water, such as ponds or lakes, can harbor bacteria, parasites, and other contaminants that make it unsafe to drink. 2. Maintain distance. While it's important to be near water, you don't want to build your shelter right next to it. Aim for a location about 200 yards away from the water. This minimizes the risk of flooding, keeps you away from insects like mosquitoes, and ensures you're less visible to wildlife. 3. Backup water sources. You should have more than one water source identified. Don't rely on just one river or stream. A drought, contamination, or unexpected event could disrupt your primary water supply, so having a backup plan is key. 4. Purification is a must. Even if you have access to flowing water, always purify it before drinking. Carry a reliable water filter, purification tablets, or know how to boil water to make sure it's safe. Pro tip: familiarize yourself with natural indicators of water, like green vegetation, animal tracks, or the sound of running water. These can help you find water even when it's not immediately visible. Prioritizing security and concealment. When selecting your shelter location, security should be a top priority. You need a spot that keeps you safe from predators, environmental hazards, and, in some cases, hostile individuals. Consider these key factors for securing your shelter. 1. Seek high ground. A high elevation offers better visibility, allowing you to spot threats from a distance. It also minimizes the risk of flooding, which is particularly important in areas with heavy rainfall or snowmelt. High ground also offers protection against unexpected wildfires, as fire tends to travel uphill. 2. Use natural barriers. When choosing your shelter site, look for natural features that provide protection. These could be large boulders, cliffs, dense forests, or thorny bushes that act as a shield against intruders or wildlife. These natural barriers can also serve as windbreaks, adding extra shelter. 3. Stay off the beaten path. Avoid areas that are commonly traveled by humans, animals, or vehicles. Trails, roads, and clearings are visible and easily accessible. The more hidden your shelter is, the better. Look for secluded areas where you won't be easily found by others. 4. Blend into the environment. Camouflage is essential in preventing detection. Use materials from your surroundings, such as branches, leaves, and mud, to blend your shelter into the natural landscape. This not only makes you less visible, but also helps protect you from wildlife, especially larger predators that might be curious. Pro tip: when scouting for shelter locations, approach the area from a distance to see how visible your spot is from various angles. This helps you evaluate whether it's easily detected or well concealed. Weather protection. Shielding against the elements. Mother Nature is unpredictable, and shelter protection against the weather is crucial. From heavy rain to extreme heat or cold, the right location can shield you from the harshest conditions. Consider these points when choosing a weather protective location. 1. Wind protection. Strong winds can make it difficult to stay warm, dry, and comfortable. Choose a site that's shielded from the wind by natural barriers like hills, large rocks, or dense vegetation. If you're in an area prone to hurricanes, tornadoes, or blizzards, think about sheltering in a cave or overhang. 2. Avoid flood-prone areas. Look for elevated ground or areas where water doesn't naturally flow. Flat, low-lying areas are more susceptible to flooding, particularly during heavy rainstorms or snowmelt. Even if a stream is nearby, avoid setting up your shelter in a valley or low depression that could collect water. 3. Sun and shade. Considerations. Depending on your climate, you'll want to balance exposure to the sun and protection from it. In hot climates, you need to prioritize shade and cooling options to avoid heat exhaustion. In cold environments, sunny spots provide warmth, especially during winter. 4. Temperature extremes. Think about how temperature fluctuations will impact your shelter over time. In desert environments, nighttime temperatures can plunge, while in the mountains, the daytime heat may quickly turn into freezing cold at night. Your location should minimize temperature extremes and provide a reasonable level of comfort. Pro tip: in colder climates, sheltering near natural heat sources such as hot springs, geothermal vents, or sun-exposed rocks can provide warmth. In warmer areas, use tree cover or boulders to create shade and reduce heat buildup. Understanding the environment, knowing your environment, is essential for long-term survival. The right shelter location is one that not only protects you from the elements, but also provides access to food, firewood, and other natural resources. Here's what to keep in mind when considering the broader environment. 1. Animal activity. Pay attention to signs of wildlife in the area. Tracks, droppings, and nests can tell you what animals frequent the area. While this can help you find potential food sources, it's also crucial for assessing risk. Avoid areas with large predators, such as bears or mountain lions, and steer clear of places where dangerous animals, like snakes, might hide. 2. Edible plants and food sources. A good shelter location should also provide access to wild food sources. Familiarize yourself with local edible plants, fruits, and herbs. Look for areas with abundant vegetation or near trees that produce nuts or fruits. Be cautious about potentially toxic plants, and always verify the edibility of any food before consuming it. 3. Firewood availability. Fire is essential for cooking, warmth, and signaling. Ensure your shelter site has an adequate supply of firewood. Look for forests or areas with abundant deadfall, fallen branches. A nearby wood source will also save you time and energy in sourcing fuel, allowing you to focus on other survival tasks. 4. Waterproofing materials. Be sure that your shelter location offers access to waterproof materials like leaves, bark, and mud. These materials will help you construct a durable shelter that can withstand wet conditions. Pro tip: when setting up camp, always look for signs of both animals and other people. Evidence of human activity, campsites, trash, or discarded tools can indicate that the area is regularly used and might be dangerous. Testing your shelter spot. Before you fully commit to your shelter location, test it out. Spend a night or two in the area to assess whether it meets your needs. This gives you the chance to evaluate important factors such as safety, comfort, and accessibility. Noise levels. Listen for unnatural noises, such as nearby predators or the sound of water rising. Comfort. Consider the ground's hardness, terrain stability, and the potential for flooding. Resource availability. Ensure there is an adequate supply of water, firewood, and edible plants nearby. Testing your shelter spot before settling there fully allows you to make adjustments if necessary. Final considerations for shelter location. In the end, selecting a shelter location is about striking a balance between safety, resources, and comfort. It's important to be flexible and prepared to adjust your plan if circumstances change. Plan for the seasons. Be mindful of how the weather changes with the seasons. What works during the summer might not be sustainable in winter. Backup locations. Always have a backup shelter location in mind. If your first choice becomes compromised, a secondary location can ensure your survival. Choosing the right survival shelter location is critical for your long-term survival. By considering key factors such as water proximity, security, weather protection, and access to resources, you can ensure that your shelter offers both safety and sustainability. The location of your shelter can make a significant difference in how effectively you're able to ride out a crisis. So take the time to carefully assess your environment. Remember, no location is perfect, and conditions may change unexpectedly. Stay adaptable, be prepared to move if necessary, and always be on the lookout for natural indicators that could help you find a better spot. Survival isn't just about having the right tools or skills. It's also about choosing the right location to set up your base. A well-chosen shelter location allows you to thrive in even the most challenging situations. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Doomsday Prepper for more survival strategies and preparedness tips. Stay safe, stay prepared, and always be ready for whatever the future may bring.